I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, I'll call the meeting to order.
Make a motion to approve today's agenda, December 26, 2023.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
And I will make a motion to accept the minutes for December 19th, 2023.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meetings attended.
The only thing I have to report is I talked to Gio about the roof out there. He indicated about another week, 10 days, it'll be done. They tore a whole bunch off last week and filled up a lot of dumpsters. We will see when the bills come through and add for removing the rooftop vents. And there was a few electrical conduits that were attached to the roof decking, which shouldn't have been, that they got drilled through. So there'll be a couple there, and then there'll be I think a little bit of a disposal fee for the gazebo. Is it pretty well filled up a dumpster?
Oh, they did get it finally
Yeah,
torn down.
it's
Okay.
gone. It's gone.
Did they use metal to go back over the top of that or decking, or what did they use to fill that hole in with a
Metal decking, yeah.
Good. Metal last.
Yeah. So that's all I have.
I went to Comanche Wednesday, and I was asked by the Clinton County Supervisors and Solar Group. They met at a public hearing. And it was about, I think it was altogether gone about 7 hours, but it was about a 3-hour meeting. They got a little bit bigger than ours. Their estimated over a 30-year period was $11,400,000 coming in on excise tax. The tax would have been a property tax for that was 1,000 acres. Would have been just a little bit over $1.3 million. So they was very positive with it. They have another solar field that had quite a if you remember a couple of years ago, that a lot of public opinion, and finally they got that through, and that's what they're seeing on that site there. It's about the size of ours. Had a lot of good comment. There was a couple that was against, but I talked to a lot of people up there. It was a good meeting. So we got ours is going to be starting sometime in January. I'm going to another one up at Cedar Rapids. They asked me to come up here, but it's good information. Just go up and listen to what's going on and seeing what other communities are getting an excise tax, and trying to get the people that figure that tax to give us a formula where we know what we have in the future, because it's probably one of the most misunderstood, non-understood excise tax. Really, nobody knows the formula. So I'm hoping that maybe we can get a hold of state auditor or something, see if he can enlighten us, send us some stuff. I know Sean has some questions on that too, and we just need to get that out to public information. I did suggest that they maybe do some of the things that the group is looking over down below the hill, is do some grant opportunities for local, stay in county or Muscatine, keep the two, but for funding for not-for-profit, and then some other school organizations and stuff like that, that we can get some funding for to kind of help us move forward, fire departments and some of our auxiliary on the reserves, maybe for the sheriff, and it was pretty much in line on that. So, but no, it was a good meeting. I'm glad I attended. It's out in the boondocks. But that's what I had.
Okay. I had nothing but a few phone calls. Just a few. Everybody's reviewed the payroll changes. Any input from the public here? Okay. Adam will be here in a while. Okay, we got a notice of resignation for the Board of Health.
Yeah, she put that in the daughter-in-law, something like that.
Her daughter.
Yeah, took the position, so she felt that she and her term was up anyway, so we're working on her replacement.
Are we gonna advertise it for a few weeks
I
and
think
then?
Selena already did that, didn't you, Selena?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
I seen it.
couple of weeks and then we'll see what happens. You did a good job at being the chair, so I'm assuming that our next meeting will be electing a new chairperson.
Okay,
And probably normally would have been January anyway, right?
Yeah,
does anybody wanna read her resignation?
I seen it.
I already did.
Okay. Let's go with the Greater Housing Trust Fund match down 12. Let's see it in here. It's pretty much a. We all three get to sign it. Louisa County will continue a $10,000 match for the fiscal year of 2025.
And
To
then
benefit.
Jordan Graham was here in November where you guys approved that.
Right,
Yeah,
but just,
okay.
I need a motion so we can all sign this, I guess. There's
Make
no more questions.
a motion to approve resolution 202341.
I'll second his motion.
Okay, we got a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's something that pops up every year.
Yep.
Okay. And is that pretty much the typical
Match.
Where we've been for,
while?
yeah, since I've been on. I think you guys raised it. And it was 8 and then we went 10 a few years before I got on.
It probably, yeah, it's went up. Oh, these.
Look, you gotta do the farm thing.
Oh,
Yeah, it takes a lot of signatures. You might start on that now, you might be down to 11.
Others between some of this other business, we need to wait for Adam Parsons for 7 and 8. 11 and 14, well, I probably ought to have Adam Shutt here.
Do you need to see if Brian? is
Yeah, sure.
available?
Yeah, he's 9:45. See that truck in that ditch? Yeah, I called 911 last night and they said they already knew about it, so it happened there as a Dodge, white Dodge pickup.
The road must have been icy.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah. Maybe the right kind of tea or something. Cause I seen it when I went by there, I seen tracks going in the ditch of the washouts. And then I seen the truck. Yeah. Hey, good morning.
Hey, morning, boys. You wonder if I was ready, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like Betty Crocker,
Yeah,
ready when you are, and even when you're not.
I can't believe you didn't have your green outfit on.
Rich, my wife changed me to the house, so I don't go out and cause hate and discontent.
Good for
So. The updates for emergency management is that. For the hazard mitigation plan that we do, that 5-year plan is up for renewal. I've been working with Southeast Iowa Regional Planning, specifically Jordan from. And he's on it and engaged. And asking for me to help him get submitted the local match resolution. So it is a matching grant, so 75% federal, 25% local match. And he's provided, I gave you a copy of it. That it has exact price You give one to him. Original estimate a year ago was about 31,000, I think this, they got that bumped up to. Whatever you're seeing there, it's 35,000.
35,978.
That'd be the total cost, and then, I guess you got 15% match, because state picks up 10. I thought it was 25%, so that would be $5,397 for the county. So I present that to you today, so we can maybe get it on the agenda for the next meeting. If you decide to approve that, then we can get a resolution for that.
Is it in your,
Uh,
is it in, whose budget would it be in, and
It would be under the Louisa County budget,
the county's not, okay,
yeah. Because the county paid for that 2 times ago, or 2 and 3 times ago.
yeah.
And even the last one, they paid it out of the county budget, not the EMA budget, so I have never budgeted in to do that.
Okay,
So I'm glad that Jordan is engaged, and he's talking to people at the state and going through all the motions, and we'll kick that off. Hard and strong in 2024, be right on track. Similarly, though, with this whole plan, and when we submit that grant, state of Iowa kicked back just a little bit to say, the risk assessment they do. And we're right on track, we have all our policies and everything, but in our procurement policy, there needs to be a change. A slight change, in addition, because of the new federal guidelines. Reference to, that Build Back, Buy America, Build America Act. And so we want to buy preference to buy American first. That language needs to be in our procurement policy. So I've been interacting with her a little bit, saying basically we are. In our headlines of our procurement policy, it does specify that we will abide by all federal CFRs and to that nature. But they want the specific language in there, and might need to put it on the agenda. Similar to this to say we will adopt and approve that change in the procurement policy.
every year we gotta fine tune something, it seems like,
Oh, it was something.
yeah.
And one of the numbers changed to CFR, so she's helping us get that sidetracked. All the other policies seem to be good, just a procurement policy. And then I sent an email back to you, Selena,
Okay,
about the counting codes. It needs to be specific to the BRIC grant, and Vicky's out, but I copied Vicky and you, and
okay.
you can count codes for that.
Is this the one you needed 2 numbers for?
That was for the community foundation grant.
Okay,
And so that's why I sent separate emails, and here's another one. And
Okay.
I just sent it today to get it back on top of your email list.
yes, yep, it's on my pile.
Yep, I figured it would be.
I'll get to that today, Brian.
All right. It's not a huge hurry. I think we're getting till first. Other updates, though, would be December 5th, we had the salamander training, and if you remember, that's a credentialing program we do to give her a badge like this. And tells us who's who in the zoo during a disaster, helps us track assets and people, and it's for accountability, it's for, the burn rate on equipment and people, the cost of the disaster, so that worked well. So the grant we got from Louisa County Community Foundation helped buy the printer for that. And so we've had salamander training, the guy come down and went in Muscatine County, and we had a good response from all over the state. People came, 35 people came to that, and it's actually put on by the Louisa Muscatine Disaster Coalition. We're the one that instigated the training, and it was well received. So I knew how to do that. I already had my training. Collectively then, as a group, we've learned how to take disaster, join systems, and so it was good advanced training for me. Other stuff going on. January 8th, so not this week, next week, January 8th, it's on a Monday. We had the railroad safety training 102 in Les again. We had the 101 class. Here it is, the 102 class. This will be half classroom and half hands-on. So he's gonna, Canadian Pacific is gonna bring down a rail car simulator, about a 16-footer. We'll slide it into the Let's Fire Department and give a little hands-on training. So last time it was attended mostly by Let's and Fruitland, one from Junction and one from Wapello Fire Departments. But this time, and I've opened it up to everybody, but I've invited Washington County firefighters, Muscatine County, Des Moines County. Anybody wants to come, you come. And And they will, but specifically also invited, our regional EPA guy. Cause he's attached to the super fund. And the super fund is something really bad goes on. They have access to money to help clean up the big disasters. So partnering with Muscatine County like we do, inviting him to come down. It's their job too, to get around, and introduce themselves and make themselves available. So it's good to know who he is, shake his hand and see him now. So in case we do need him, it won't be a stranger to us. Similarly, the Canadian Pacific has a couple of new law enforcement officers. The guy that was our area law enforcement, he retired. So I know they have one and probably two local area railroad cops, I call them. And they will probably be in attendance as well to introduce themselves. So that'll be a good meeting. Supper will be provided. And then on the very next day, January 9th, the Louisa Muscatine Disaster Coalition again, we're meeting at Calvary for an all-day training. It's called MARC training. So multi-agency resource center. So after disaster, after flood, and citizens, we can get them all in the same spot and they start needing services, social services and whatever they need. This center will be where they will come to get those kind of social services. So it'd be United Way, Salvation Army, Red Cross. Then all the local players too they would all have a table at a resource center like this. And so we're learning how to manage that day, that awesome day. So that's on the 9th, that's 8-hour training. And then on those trainings, we'll be using that salamander system just to kind of prove that it works for evacuations, for accountability. We're putting that into action as well. Last thing I think on my agenda, I'm signed up personally for rail car incident response down in Montrose on the 24th. It's the same thing we had a year or so ago in Columbus Junction. We brought that group in, but I'm just going for reinforcement. I need to hear it 3 times before it sinks in. It's all good practice. That's really all I have for emergency management. And 911, we're just moving along, got our working on our budget, getting it approved, and nothing new exciting. I will say, took a trip out by the sheriff's office and they were working on the Essex Tower out there. Guys climbing all over, trucks everywhere, and that is an upgrade to that tower. So if and when Muscatine County goes live on Essex, that they're going to borrow space on that tower to accommodate some of their stuff. So that's a cost savings for us when we make the leap.
Did they put antennas facing toward Muscatine? Is that what they were
I'm
doing?
assuming they were.
I was doing something up there on the high part, and it looked like they was putting an antenna toward that direction, but I never did see the finish of it.
Yeah, we didn't really have so many dead spots between here and Muscatine. I think it increases their range, maybe.
Just Conesville area.
Collinsville, if we can get that in, but every time they do something like that, I think that's a benefit for us and.
Yeah.
And we'll make that leap someday. I think that's all I got for you. Other than that, so can I maybe take note, get me on the agenda for next time, so. To sign this. Okay. It's the only thing I say, but in safety, due to put out the, OSHA 300 form that tracks all any incidents that involve employees with lost time. So I'll be calculating all that. We post that over in the auditor's office on the window. So it has to be done by February. So I always keep that up to date anyway. So it's a matter of just hitting print and publishing. Any questions?
What kind of things do you publish on that?
Just hours lost.
Okay.
Hours lost or light duty hours. Man hours or deaths or things like that. We had a rough time in the beginning of last year. And we had attention to it, we had to focus on it, we talked about it, and workers' comp even came in and offered some suggestions, and then we had a better year. And I'd be interested to see what our new rate's gonna be. Usually we usually have that meeting in December, we haven't had that. But maybe no news is good. So, but anyway, I think
They're scared to present it.
yeah, I need to get back on to publish for our group, our safety committee, regularly scheduled meetings, so we just have them. Conservation, Alana's on the line here, but they have their own team, and every department is really responsible for their own safety, because I can't be out if conservation's out doing work, I can't be out there. Road crews are scattered everywhere. I really don't, it's not a full-time job for me to go do that, so we've had discussion before where the department heads are really responsible for the safety of their team and their meetings. I've asked them to be involved with any safety meetings I've had. And I haven't got that invite yet, but I'd like to do that, so I can get it, make a face and be there, but I know I'm paying attention.
One other thing I had is the 8th is the railroad thing in Letts, is that what you said? What
Correct.
time does that start?
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock start.
6 P.M.
It's Monday.
Okay.
I would copy you guys on emails on that. I don't mean to bother you with all those kind of emails, but just let you know, you pick and choose what you want to come to. Did I send one to you? Save your dinner plate, I'll send you that email. Send you a dinner plate. If I get the railroad law enforcement there and get introduced, that's good. Those guys are in and out here, sometimes we don't even see them, but they are everywhere, they're around. And what we'll probably talk about in that railroad training too would be the closure of Highway 92 coming up. How that'll affect them and our response if anything goes wrong. We'll have a quick chat about that. And that's gonna be a couple year project, close 92 that you know, so. And there's another project that.
That's good.
Just doing it,
It'll be an adjustment for a while for those local people.
yeah. And then I also gave them the alert too, when I told them about the closure of Highway 92, I told them about the solar project down in the bottom there. Not that it's gonna affect their traffic and stuff, but there will be increased people and other kinds of traffic down in there, so just so they're aware of all that. And that's kind of stuff I'll probably talk to the railroad cops about. Maybe get in on their email chain, I suppose. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Oh, there you go. What I gave them? Yeah. Yeah, that's just, I can't.
I'll make a copy for you.
That's, yep. I can email it to you. Oh, okay. And you got mine.
We discussed the resolution about the EMF property tax.
It wasn't that related to.
Was. Stephen Dave's.
I got it.
Oh,
Susan's coming over here.
So yeah, that's right.
That's what the whole was outside. They give you a number.
Dr. Dorsey's waiting and got it pretty well hammered out, so. It's a good thing.
We want to discuss yearly appointment.
Sure.
I have an ad for the Louisa County Zoning Board of Adjustment to put in the paper. It's Tim Coleman's will.
this person, they know.
No, January 2nd.
Oh, that's right.
Next week.
Keep making this is. It's over.
January.
Yeah. It's coming fast.
I don't have any problem leaving them the same for another year. Next year it'll probably be a big change if you guys aren't gonna be
It's
around.
gonna be a huge change. Do you need to be on anything to?
We're gonna talk about the Board of Supervisors appointments next week.
Okay.
Which ones you want to be on and.
Only other one would be, and we didn't have it established, but the EMS. Board.
I think
That's what they started.
Yeah, it's not on this
Yeah.
paperwork, so.
Yeah.
If
It'd be
you
good to
wanna,
get one started, get people
well,
appointed.
if the tax thing is gonna kick in, then that board needs to move into a
But,
supervisor.
you know, and I agree with you that, but I think with the public, we're contributing 125,000, tax money right now to the EMS. I'd like to have some public.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
The advisor, the fund advisory board, I guess is
Yeah.
the best way.
And
to-
then we can rotate that in and give them some
Right.
experience.
I agree with that.
Okay, up here on the Board of Health, did we, Tim Verley,
Tim's out.
and we have not replaced
Yes,
him?
we did. Randy Griffin.
Yeah, Randy went in.
Okay, that's-
Randy replaced him. So the only one is Joe Allen is what we're working on right now.
That's. We have no problem with our medical examiner, he's still good for,
I haven't heard anything.
Do I need to get a hold of him to? Cause his term is.
his term ends,
Didn't we have local people doing that for a while?
But he oversees it.
Oh, okay.
it's gotta be a doctor to
Has to
sign
be a
off on.
Okay, all right.
And he's the same doctor that does our EMS overlook for Wapello.
'Cause I knew Sam
And
and
Louisa.
Jason and there might have been another.
They work under his license.
Okay, I got it.
They work under his license.
Got it.
You know, there's.
We probably ought to put him, see if he would be interested in going back. But we gotta be prepared for the answer too, so. But if he would be, want to do another 4 or 5 year term.
Dr. Towner,
Yeah,
okay,
cause I think he was the 5, you remember?
It says here, 1-year term,
Okay,
so he's been appointed a year at a time.
yes,
Yeah, ask if he'd be interested in a 3-year term.
yeah, I think so too. because-
That's just telling me was appointed. Don't give him a choice.
I've never met him.
I haven't ever met him either.
For all the years before that, he was in the fire department, I don't remember ever meeting. Yeah, I'd like to get that to a 3-year if we could.
Board of Adjustment with Tim, is that a conflict of interest?
We got it.
Yes.
gonna put an ad in the paper.
Okay,
But on the planning and zoning.
yeah.
Hey. Here comes Mr. Scott.
Hello, Adam.
Morning.
How are you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
All right,
Well,
Southeast Regional Planning Board still got an open hole. Bunch of question marks.
yeah,
Goldsmith's still on. He's gone, you're the only one on that board, right?
We haven't met.
really. Not monthly, like. Huh,
So if I need to put a ad in paper for that, or do you just appoint?
No, that one there is, it's done through,
Southeast Iowa?
no,
we just kinda,
Kathy, Vance.
Vance, okay.
Her,
Oh,
remember they kind of took over that.
yeah, and Adair
Oversight.
Vance is now. Kathy Vance at the extension office?
Yeah.
Okay,
And so they kind of overseen the hiring, we kind of give them the authority to get.
Okay. I'll get a
some
hold of Adair.
University, no, Iowa State funding,
Okay.
so they paid 50% of the salaries.
What are we talking about here now?
The Southeast Iowa Regional Planning.
Oh, it's no.
No, that's the monthly meeting with. Up at their.
Why is that?
Historic Preservation.
Development group. Which we was talking about, Louisa Development Group.
Um,
I don't know if they've ever appointed anybody to take over his spot. And the key is we're still contributing $15,000, so we need to find that out.
And. Getting more people on that board.
Yeah, there's, we had 5, on there, we had,
Well, the city had some, Junction Walk his person, and then we have these 3. Cause Mark Houston was on it.
he still was, as far as I know, is on it, and then we had, trying to think, the plant manager. Over there at Comic work.
Oh, at Tyson.
Tyson, yeah, I could think of his name. And then, we have, 2 or 3 bankers over. All the banks represented.
Well, like Bill Small's still on our technical advisory term, but his term is up.
Yeah, we need to find out if they hired anybody, and then because we have to look, because there's 15,000, I think the city of Waco is 10,000 in it, John.
I don't remember.
Yeah. I
It's
think it
been
is.
too
I
long
think they
for me
asked
to
to go out
remember.
and then-
It's something like that, though.
Well, should we set this aside and
Yep.
pick on Adam for a while?
Yeah. It's been pretty fun for a while.
I'll sleep with
So you get picked on every day, huh?
Let's see, well, we got a proclamation to remove the stop sign on G44X and 160th Street.
Yeah, we had originally thought there was gonna be a lot more traffic on the roads and a lot more on the side. I think we ended up with 450 or so, the entire intersection. About 200 or so of that is up from the west there, so. I don't think that there's enough traffic at that spot to warrant a second stop sign. It'd be very similar to what we have up there on end of X61 and 99. They're same similar situations. There's even a little bit more traffic on that one, so I think we're okay to remove it. Our sign crew is actually looking for a let's get the signs. Here we go. I just got a text about it. We ordered a cross traffic does not stop sign, and it'll be here on Friday. So hopefully we'll just kind of leave it up on Friday and have the guys replace it if it comes in then. So I think that's probably the best ending at the site there. So any questions on that?
No, this is a resolution. I guess I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to remove the stop sign on the intersection G44X and 160th Street.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you for following up on it. We did our stuff, and I think
All fine
the
under
due diligence was done.
You
And
know,
safety was our major concerns.
I have coordinated with the sheriff to let him know that we would get that taken care of this week or so, so. So that's that, guess, did you talk about the transfer yet?
No, we waited for
Okay,
you.
okay, so, yeah, so, I had a question about the transfer, last year, I did my budget, based upon the numbers given to me by Sandy. We always estimate the minimum transfer at the time, and that was, what, $1,481,586. We went through the budget, my understanding that that was all approved. It was given to the DOT and that's the amount of money we're gonna take it from taxes. I understand there were some differences in rollbacks or something like that, so the actual number came in lower. I think about $13,000 less than what we had been approved for, so I'm asking if we can get the full transfer. And, you know, I understand there, you know, we got lots of expenses in the county, but this is about 1,000 tons of rock, so it helps to have it all, so.
What was the budgeted number? Can you?
1,481,586.
For the whole year,
Yeah, so the half of that would be
Half.
740, 793,
740,
793.
okay.
And that's the number that was presented to the state.
And what you guys approved, and it adds up to be like 75.3%.
Morning.
So if that's what we have budgeted, I think that's the number that needs to be going with.
Yeah, and I
But
agree
it
with
was
you.
figured at 75% every year, and every year, what was requested for budgeted was not in this transfer. Because I did it the way it had been done it'd been done at 75%, and at 75%, it came up to the 734,186.
Where's the other 25%?
No, so the way it works for secondary roads funding, there is a number called the local match, right? The local effort. That in order for the secondary roads department to get its money from the farm to market and road use tax from the state, the county has to put in a minimum amount of effort.
That's their skin in the game.
Yeah, so that's what we talk about. Let me say yes, 75%.
Okay,
Back in 2013, I believe we were under it. We lost $41,000 from the DOT because we were under it. So, like we talked about at budget time last year, we had a higher valuation of the county. So I put that number in my request for funds, but then that valuation changed. So on her end, it looks smaller, and so I'm asking for what I actually asked for and not just the 75%. So this would be 75.1% or something like that, which also helps us in case things ever change and we're under, and then we get that bad situation like 2013. So
well, the difference between 740 and 734 is only $6,000.
but there's a transfer at the end of December and there's a transfer at the end of June.
Worse.
So our local tax money comes in at the end of December and the end of June. They're twice per year, so.
I just don't want to do what happened in 2013. Where we
Yeah.
get penalized 50 for, what was it, 10 then, or 8, or something like that. It was not much. We did.
No, we were short a couple $1,000.
Yeah, it's really a small amount. It costs us
41,000, I think.
costs us 50 or 60,000 in penalties, so I'll make a motion that which one is that's 11, that resolution 202-340 to enter fund transfer from rural services general basic secondary roads the amount of 734,186. That's my motion.
Wait, I thought we were gonna go with the 740.
740, okay.
747,093.
740,
793.
93, okay. I'm just reading what was wrote down, so. Okay,
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second, all in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
Last thing, I got some emails from the DOT. Last week, this is their,
Killing more trees, huh?
what do you kill trees?
Is that a approved drawing?
This is their, planning map for their scheduling that.
This is very similar to what Taylor Collins kind of.
Yeah, I
Good
think
out.
it is, I think it is. I don't know, Jim. Right. Yeah. No problem.
Did he ever send you the detailed?
Yes, I had some details that came in like Thursday and I looked at it a little bit this morning, but,
Would you forward that, please?
yep. Yeah, I'll print it off and bring it in, next week, so.
And they still figured out what they're gonna do out on the washouts.
I don't really know.
It's gonna be a big surprise for everybody.
Yeah, I've got some draft sheets of what the tie-ins are gonna look like. They do have a right-hand turn lane going into the G56 up there at the jail and all that, so that's good.
So they did put an actual turning lane,
Yeah,
both sides?
so it looks like it. I believe so. But it doesn't look like there's one on 40th Street at the golf course road, so I'm gonna have to look at that a little bit more, so.
Yeah, and that was one that was heavily discussed, because that's a well-traveled route. I thought we had that one.
Yeah. It's difficult to see in the plan, so I was gonna email them and ask them for some clarification on that, to see what that actually was. So yeah, I'll print out the rest of those and bring it in. I guess if there's any questions up in the public, it would be a good time to get some of those questions in. I know through Joel and a couple of people who farm on both sides of the highway have expressed concerns with the J turn on 65th. So about getting trucks and tractors and everything across the road.
That great interchange would make a whole lot more sense, but
I agree.
that's forbidden.
I agree. So,
For a bit, depends where you're at in the world, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, let's say you do want to take a semi east to west or to go up and turn around on the interstate and come back around, no traffic hazard now whatsoever.
yeah, so, it would be, so they're asking for comments, please, stuff from the city by January 19th. I forward that to the mayor. So that they can begin to work on it, but we can gather up some of our own comments, I guess. And,
What did our bridge out here cost?
well, construction was like 9.5, and then engineering was another $1 million. So they've got about 10.5, or we spent about 10.5 on it. On this one, it looks like they have a 18.5 on it. I mean, I don't know what all that entails, so.
That tells me they're gonna raise that road bed. They're not gonna put a bridge that long.
Well, the grading on
It's 41 million.
A lot of dirt.
yeah.
Yeah, look at fiscal year 2028. That right there, that's the bulk of the. I mean, that's,
Most expensive.
yeah, look all the way back from to
Yeah.
year 17.
Yeah, when we first started talking about this, I think the high it was it was just right around 100 million.
You know,
And now look at how.
175 million.
Yeah, and they estimate that it could be up to 220 by the time of construction.
Yeah, so. Anyway, it looks like a little bit of traffic. Got TBD, which could be 28, 29, 30 or something. I don't know. But
Well, we'll be doing 2025 budget in July, so we're always a year ahead, so it's not that far away to if you look at it.
I would expect them to be approaching people about right away this year or this next year, so.
July. Now, the public meeting, when they say that was gonna start possibilities January, February, right? Public input on this.
I was thinking like a March or something, because remember that, the county and city was supposed to get back some of our comments by that. Well, by the end of January, and then they'll gather it up and have their internal meetings and come back with something like March, April, something like that.
Well, by this map, it looks like the section 4, they're a mile off, don't even tie into the 4 lane of Grandview. Kind of looks that way.
I think that's just a typo, but you're right, I don't think it extends
Far enough.
far enough to actually.
They actually are one corridor, weren't they?
Mhm.
That next
No,
road.
I think that's okay. I think that's okay, because that's 130th there.
No, because yeah, that is 130th, because you see where it ties in from Grandview Road, up over by Bill Bikes, that is, they got it right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You see where the wiping
Yeah.
corner is.
Yeah.
Yeah, thought you had it though, did you?
That's 130th, yeah.
So, other than that,
At one time, wasn't there $8 million worth of culverts for out here at the washout? And I think
I
something we've seen,
didn't know that, I guess. And
there was something we've seen in the last year that had $8 million worth of culverts.
Mhm. All right, well, if it's anything, just holler at me. I'm gonna be off a couple days for the holidays here, so.
Enjoy your time, I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, see you next week then, so. All right, guys, thanks. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. Congratulations. It sounds like you're searching. Was great.
Found somebody, yeah.
So here's your, so you found a Brian Metcalf.
Yes, he's an attorney in Muscatine, that I've worked with before, and, he's interested in the position, so.
Excellent.
Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess today I'm asking, for the board to approve his appointment effective January 3rd, and the resolution appointing him, and approve a starting salary of $60,000 for approximately 3/4 time. Which is what,
It was exactly where we was at before.
Yep.
John, you want
I'll
to
make that motion.
And I'll second that.
Okay, you got a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent.
All right, thank you.
That went a lot better.
Yeah. You. What do you want
Yeah, well, I'll take it.
Resolution.
Yeah.
got the copy?
Need his, I've got a copy of that. right?
EMS property tax.
Okay.
And then this a sheet.
That's what she
That's what
Okay.
Susan's here for.
His service is gonna be the exact same thing, right? Just
Yeah, he's doing the exact same thing.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Well, what do we need to know here?
Well, basically, in that email that I had sent you, we need to set a max dollar amount that you guys can levy each time to add to that tax. For the election. You have the cents, but you need the max dollar rate. We need to be able to approve that today to be able to meet the 60-day publication requirement.
Wasn't that already preset?
Here's this paper.
Well, I think you early on
That's
came
what
up
I
with a
had sent
number
you,
that
yeah.
you thought the group would need.
Well, then we said 59 cents, but she's saying it.
A max dollar amount too, not just the 59 cents. We need the max
So
dollar.
we would calculate that off the top.
Talked about that. That was like $1.29 or something.
Well, and that's where I had sent that email and said how much,
Yeah, I thought we had them all. But a lot of water's running the bridge since we've talked about this.
I thought that was preset by the state.
I think they had a max. And we stayed under the max, correct?
Yeah, we were well under it.
Yeah,
God, I gotta go back and find that paperwork, but that was. It was a year ago. so-
what's the 59 cents come out? To,
Can
we go backwards on that?
169,069,000, something like that.
would that number work as the max?
It would be less than, if we would charge it on our taxable now, that would be less than the 59 cents that you guys are wanting to charge, or the max that we would charge. So if you did. The 159 that you were saying, or whatever,
Whatever it was.
yeah.
Should we table this till you get some information to our January?
Yeah.
If
Second?
you can,
Oh, we can't, we gotta do it.
yeah, we have to do it today. If you don't, there's no special election.
You got a phone or friend that somebody you can call? Remember that number? Cause I don't remember what it was and
So right now, we're doing 50, 50, and 40, right?
yes. And that will come off once that tax goes on there, but that's where we need to explain to our taxpayers, we're currently doing 140,000.
We're seeking 59 cents. But what does the maximum number, what does that represent? If we decided we don't want 59, we can charge 89?
There's so,
No, because say if you charge 59 on that taxable rate, and you would collect like 400 some thousand dollars on that taxable rate. For that EMS. If you charge 59 cents.
I think that's the number we gotta use. Cause you guys figured out 59
That
cents.
was the number that we came up with.
So if we stay with that calculation, that should be the number we need to be
Mhm,
the maximum of.
right, that's why basically every year you would have to come to us and tell us how much dollars you need. And then that's how we figure the tax rate, and if that dollars that you request is. Over that tax rate of 59 cents, the maximum we can charge is that 59 cents, regardless of how much money you want.
Unless we put it back up for election.
Yes. Yeah. And this would be set for 15 years.
I don't have a problem with that, though. We have to go back to the citizens and say, you know what, 59 cents, 6 years from now, 59 cents ain't doing it.
I hope you got to go back and say 59 cents was too high.
You know, I disagree. with
never
that,
happens,
But
of inflation.
And that's why I gave you the sheet of what we had spent to them to show the dollars that we had spent. This past year to them.
So basically, we're just asking for 300,000. More than what we've been getting, yeah. Cause we've been using 150,000 for.
Right, but then you've been using money out of what I think transferred out of lost, I think, to.
well, how they calculated that was the amount of money that you're putting in now. Plus enough money to go back into a fund for an ambulance, and they calculated that ambulance about every 3 or 4 years, they need another ambulance. And that's when that big fund transfer comes out. That's why it sounds like a lot of money every year. But when you calculate it, $250,000 ambulance every 3 or 4 years, it doesn't take long. And that's what the price is right now. You know, it's gonna be like in 5 years.
If you're confident on that number, the
Well,
group is,
As confident as I am on anything else.
let's just go with that calculation, whatever that 59 cents comes out.
And
If
we-
lost went away with that, could you still get by? Just to, look into the
Yeah,
future.
they need to be conscientious on the money and not throw it around like a drunken sailor.
But I'm just doing damage
Yeah,
control
right,
if. Okay. Well, that's,
I'll make a motion to establish the rate at 59 cents.
And the max rate, dollar amount as,
59.
well,
it'd be,
I'm sorry.
no, it's,
400,
that's what I'm.
Oh, the
looking at.
maximum dollar
Yeah.
amount.
well, it'd be 59 times the 795 million.
Isn't it on there? 400 and.
469. Oh, 5612.
Mhm.
That's
that's
my-
your.
That's my motion.
And I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now how many of these? Does this Dorsey Whitney one need signed?
Yes, I think there's a couple of them.
It was Dorsey's charges.
He said it was gonna be less than 750 for this.
Okay,
I had asked
good.
for a quote
okay,
before we did it.
and that should come out of our lost fund, pay that also, I would think.
I don't think.
Can we-
No, be that EMS. Don't we have to keep track of what?
We have to keep our charges, but it'll just come out of the basic, I think. Yeah.
It won't come out of general basic, will it? No.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't we use it on our lots? Because it's designed for the ambulances and stuff like that.
I don't
This
think
is
you
for
can use
election.
election.
Yeah, so it actually could possibly come out of the supplemental
Okay.
because it's election.
Hey, this minutes of meeting to set for election. I need also. Or did we do enough? Do we need
We'll have
to,
to,
do we need a motion to set an election, I guess? is what-
probably wouldn't hurt. Yeah. So we need to probably,
Who wants to make the motion? You can read this. You can probably read the code chapter that we're. In that middle paragraph.
Okay, consider the matter on a special election. Okay, make a motion that we call for a special election on a proposal of certain emergency medical services tax pursuant to chapter 422D of the Code of Iowa. It's on motion.
Second,
You got a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just looks like we're single day on that.
No, what's the day? You can fill that in later or what?
there was special elections March 5th.
March 5th. Okay.
Okay, we need to pass this one around. It's
And it looks like that one just has one signature.
And that's basically just agreement, the resolution that we just passed for the dollar amount, the max rate.
Yeah,
So that's all,
under that resolution.
yeah, that's all under that same resolution, so.
okay. We need to hear six. This is on air fund transfer, not nothing to do with this one. Okay, well, thanks for coming over,
Yeah.
Susan, and
And then we'll make sure you get this.
we're back to appointments.
Thank you.
thank you.
So you need the one on the
Am I correct on Columbus
Junction
Junction?
election.
Will they having another
The school,
question on the ballot?
yeah, we're combining it and sharing expenses, yeah,
So that 59
One that
cents
just
is good
required
for
your
15
signature.
years.
yeah,
What, and you wanna change it, we're gonna do another special.
election.
Okay,
If we need to go up.
I got you.
we'll
I got
go.
you. Well, yeah, it won't last 15 years.
No, but I think that that's an important time to the citizens to have a voice
Yeah.
and not just,
It'll be.
run it up there and say, yeah, right. I mean,
Yeah, I do what's good now and if.
yeah,
if
right.
Inflation
If we
causes
need
it,
to revisit it, we'll revisit it.
Yeah. I can't believe we. Well, we're looking at board appointments.
But then we say we was gonna do. Just discuss it, but when.
Well, yeah, we ought to discuss. Property tax credits. What, back to when I find my budget. Find and allow or disallow family farm applications.
So describe to me what that's about.
Well, these. That's a good question. They apply for. a Property tax
Rebate or
credit
credit?
or reduction. Selena, who allowed or disallows, I mean, these are brought to
The
us,
applications are done in the assessor's office. And then, they have to meet
the guideline.
a guideline. And then, that is done by Jennifer Reynolds. She knows the guidelines. And then they just have to be approved by the Board of Supervisors. It's like, a homestead credit or military credit. It's the family farm
And last spring, there was a lot of, if he was over 65, you got a credit.
Yeah.
A new
A new one,
deal.
yeah,
So I get to go through this book after you guys approve it and like. This first one. I think he's been disallowed or. If they're allowed, I sign them. If they're disallowed, I don't. And it's a lot of. Just good, it's good quality time. Cause it looks like there's.
Yeah, this looks pretty full. Yeah.
And I did it,
So there's certain criteria that they have to meet to.
yeah. Usually assessor brings it to it. Of course, Jennifer. Has the credentials
Mhm, I know,
to,
that's where we're at, right?
to go through this checklist. And- So I need to
How
ask
many-
you guys' permission to sign or not sign.
How many total are there, you know, like a couple of hundred?
I know when I did. And in
I
July,
signed-
there was like 400.
I signed them last year, so yeah.
Oh,
I'll make a motion that we sign the allowed family farm applications.
I'll second it.
you got a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
How many years have we been doing that?
But if we do this
As
twice
long
a
as I've been
year.
on,
Here we
Huh?
go.
as long as I've been on, it's probably been on before.
I'm not against it, that's fine, I'm just
But I think
asking
everybody
questions. 'Cause
has,
First-
over 30 acres, is it? There's a limit on how many acres, I think it's over 30.
Yeah.
440, I don't remember how it is, but there's a number.
Yeah, it's. And what's sad, a lot of these. Used to be backfilled from the state and they're not. If we're making a point.
It's another unfunded mandate.
Yeah. So I'll sign them when we. In my good quality time after the meeting.
What money we talking?
It's probably good credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, just give them an example of some of them. that amount of it. You don't have to say who it is.
Okay. There might be a summary at the back.
well, like, on the family farm, when I do taxes, it could be like 150,000 plus with all the credits. That, the Louisa County gets the state pays us back for those.
Oh,
We get that money back from the
Oh.
state.
I got you.
But now there's the new homestead credit 65. They are not going to credit us that. People are going to get it, the credit, but the state will not reimburse us for that. And then there's a new military credit, or not a new one, but it's currently at 1850 and it's raising to 4,000 something, and they'll only credit us back the 1850. So.
Make
The
that any
county
more
is going to
convoluted.
be losing some money, and then we have a disabled vet
It's all politics.
credit
Yeah.
also where it's 100%. And
I don't think I think,
we don't get
I
reimbursed
don't
for
think we have
that.
any in the county that are like that. I think, Adam Cottle was talking about that a while back.
There's nobody.
I don't think there's anybody that qualifies in Wise County.
For what?
The total disabled.
Yeah, we've got, when I did taxes, we have over 350,000 just last year. That people are disabled vets that do not.
Really?
Mhm, and it's going up, we've got 10 more. in
Adam
this next
got in
one.
here and told us that.
No, it's, yeah, we have quite a few.
Yeah. That is,
Anything else?
no, well, we need to review our.
Appointment.
Appointments, we was on just on the top of the second page.
Hey, we was talking about Southeast Iowa Regional Planning. We need to find
Couple people.
2 more people and give you another year term. Then we still have Bill as a small as a technical advisor or their banker board, we think it was called, but we need,
I'll check with him. I'll do that.
his term's up too.
Yeah.
you know. But,
And then we need,
and Cole Smith probably not attending, means he's got a better,
well, he's Washington County now, so.
well, he isn't part of our cog, see?
No,
Yeah, so he's out of that. Do we have anybody looking to take his place?
I don't know. I'll.
He was for the Louisa group.
Yeah.
Or do we know anybody, young ambitious person that
Well,
needs to be on that?
One of the positions was a business. We have to have before we had, Mark Houston, now he represents the city. He's on the board, or he's on the banking
He was on the banking.
side of it. And so that's what we didn't have on there, but I'd like to get a business to fulfill that, local business. There's input from the business.
What about Amy Whitaker up at the Mediapolis State Savings Bank? She's the vice president.
Yeah, we can ask. Yeah, because like I said, we have a couple positions to fill, so,
Okay.
yeah. For sure, anytime we can get somebody in that.
We used to
side of
have
the business.
Jim Howell on it too. Can anybody think of a business in the Junction area?
Can do is ask.
Right,
Find somebody who would
so
wanna
let's,
kind of openly, all three of us try to.
my notes, I'm gonna say, try to find 2 people.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Historic preservation,
Yeah, and I seen,
looks like your terms,
my term's up.
well,
I haven't talked to Gloria, her term's not till next year.
I actually enjoy the historical part of Louisa County. I wouldn't mind,
You wanna step in on that?
I wouldn't mind doing that.
Okay. Sure.
any planning and zoning. We got Becky Bartonhagen and Mark Spitznagel.
Yeah, and I'll talk to Becky. I just talked to her the other day and she never said anything about not, I didn't realize her term was in there. I would have asked her then. Mark's off. Mark got off when he went to academy, so he was off at that point. So his position's been open for a couple of years. Alex, Michael Vance, Tim Coleman, he's chair. Michelle White, Kevin's on it, so we need, I'll talk to Becky. And then we need to find somebody to replace Mark.
Okay. And now comes the proper one, Mississippi Valley Workforce, Sean May.
I'd be happy to give that one up if somebody wants to take that one.
You're doing a magnificent
Yeah,
job.
thank you. We got off on such a great foot too.
Did they ever answer your questions?
No.
That's what I figured.
No,
Yeah, if you want off of it, I'll step back in, it's up to you, but it's.
so if you wanna do that, I'll take over the Pioneer Cemetery part of it. I'll take 2 off yours if you wanna take that one. Unless you want Pioneer Cemetery.
You really don't require anything, and I have to, I get, I'm on my.
All the
chat
Mississippi
spreadsheet
Valley workforce ones are all on
Online,
online.
I'll do that one back on there.
One more year and then you don't have to worry about it.
Nope,
So Sean's doing Pioneer Cemetery too?
Oh, I don't know. It's up to Brad.
Oh,
I'll stay on that one since I got the
Okay.
checkbook.
All right.
okay.
The next 3 are me and I'll stay on them.
Okay.
The judicial 8 with what happened at the state going
It's
from
done
30.
Well, they do have a meeting you go to quarterly to hear their numbers. I might go to the one here after the first of the year just to see where they're at on budget, but. We'll probably use more as a mouthpiece to lobby. Is what and it's just informational, but there's no voting. Or decisions to make. And of course, I've been on the other two for a long time and just attended their meetings quarterly.
So you're extended on both of those, okay?
No. Hey, the landfill, I got a email that suggested the two rural people here,
Yep, I've seen that.
that we maybe replace them. They've been there.
I'd like to do one from another part of the county. I mean, we have to kind of get out a little ways from the county instead of the Grandview area. Maybe one from that area, but are these both people want to get off?
Well, it didn't really say they,
It says until replacement on the landfill board.
yeah,
Jack was having a hard time attending the meeting, I
Yeah.
heard.
yeah.
He has been, I've been chair for the last 2 or 3 years and he has attended. I mean, but yeah. I would like to,
Get fresh blood.
I'd like to at least talk to them and see.
Yeah.
I think that would, because they've
That'd be
served for many
polite,
years.
yeah.
How about we do that? I'll try to reach out.
Touch base with them.
For January 2nd, is that okay?
Just ask them if they wanted to stay on.
Yeah.
That's their opportunity if they don't.
Yeah. I think we need to
Okay.
reach out.
Okay, community action.
Yep, I'll stay on that another year.
Still there?
We're 24.
Then we went into.
Continuation of community action.
No, we went, the next page went right to,
Yeah, that's a continuation of community action. Steve, Ernest, Julie.
no, they're planning and zoning,
Oh,
Board of Adjustment.
okay. The papers are just messed up then. All right.
Are we down to the comp board yet?
Well, Pioneer Cemetery, you're gonna stay on, Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're at the comp board.
And the comp board,
We didn't have any representatives show up for us.
no, there was a,
Well, that was because of,
Well, I know Randy had a problem, medical problem.
well. I I always assumed that the auditor. Contacted these people and. I contacted him the night of it and he wasn't able to make it.
I called the other one on the night too.
So we'll just
All right,
gotta do. It's changing of the guard here and. We'll get it figured out for
Right.
next year. Okay, Emergency Management Commission and 911 Board is Brad.
Stay there, 61, stay there. Do you have your HIPAA training?
Me?
Well, we have ISAC do it.
No, we have somebody on, it has to be somebody here, I think, to coordinate it. I think that's why Sandy was on
I thought we hired ISAC to be our HIPAA.
Yeah.
it. Then we have a person on site. Let's find out if we need to have somebody in that position.
Okay.
Well, as much as we pay ISAC, we used to pay a little something for that position.
But we're paying a quarter what we used to pay for HIPAA.
Well, with that other outfit, but
Yeah,
we better see what's
yep, see what we're required to do.
expected and required.
Okay, Brian's got that.
like it's Louisa development, we just need to find out if they hired somebody and if not, then we need to go a different direction, but.
Who's on the development?
That's the one I was telling you about. There's two bankers, Mark Houston, Tyson, Plant Magnet and Tyson. There's 5 of us on that board. But like I said, we haven't met since he's been gone, so.
I'm not showing the Louisa board, is that? The
Wait, the reason-
Southeast Iowa Regional Planning Board?
No, that's the Louisa Development Group. The reason is because like I said, the Iowa State Extension Office took that group over
Gotcha, okay,
because of the funding, and we used to have all of our names on there.
okay,
It's always been a group that's struggled through it's had its highs and lows or.
Well, just trying to keep a director,
Yeah, we went.
bunches. Yeah, I think since I've been on here, I think we went through 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on.
Okay, Emergency Food and Shelter Committee, Brian Hall. Interpretive Center
I think you
meeting,
drop that off, right?
I think so.
Take that one off.
Safety Committee,
It's fine.
Sean.
Yeah.
And then we have. Lake is gone,
Yeah, stop, let's cross that off.
Mississippi Valley Partnership Council, that's. Flood control group,
It's fine.
okay, I'm on Russ. Lower Cedar River Watershed,
Yeah, that's fine.
Neither one of them have.
No, they don't have a lot of meetings. But they're mostly Zoom anyway, so.
okay. Well. I would. If anybody ever gets short and a meeting needs someone,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to holler,
Yeah.
it's the next thing.
Right.
So that, we'll review it and we got a little bit of homework to do, a few phone calls to.
Yeah, we got a couple people for the zoning board adjustment too. We haven't declared is too short, so. I'll find out.
Okay, and we'll review this next week.
Okay.
Okay, next week will be our first meeting. It's time for a new chairman next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Does,
don't seem so happy to get rid of that.
what?
Don't seem so happy to get rid of it.
Well, but you've made a valid point that. If we both jump ship, you'd have to be chairman 2 years.
Yeah, cause you're not gonna put a chair on a brand new person.
No,
Man, that just.
It's always designed after a year,
yeah,
the next person.
So-
steps up, so.
I can do it another year, Brad can do it,
It doesn't matter.
we would,
That way it puts you in there for the next year.
I think that sounds logical to me.
Yeah,
However, you guys decide to
I'll
do that,
take it
that's
for
fine.
the next. Get you-
I mean, I don't have a problem doing it for 2 years,
But-
but.
You're gonna have to take over.
Right.
Yeah.
If I can have another year here of.
Since you did what you're on.
There's a pretty steep learning curve in this first year, so.
I,
Just now that I kind of feel like I kind of know what's going on here. So
well,
I don't certainly do not have a problem with that.
so next Tuesday.
Yeah.
We'll do the Sendai stuff and. You can,
And that way it'll get it back into a new
Rhythm,
rhythm.
right,
That'll
Yeah.
work out.
Yep.
Get somebody trained underneath your.
right, and then they can take over, yeah, that's great, yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, any other business brought forth today, gentlemen?
that's what I was saying, all in favor of, getting the heck out of here, say aye.
Aye.
Motion, get aye.
So next week I'll open the meeting and.
Turn it over.
Turn it over.